Good day, Perceptive readers. This is James Lynch, and the subject that we're going to cover briefly is like a part two as far as is cryptocurrency a viable monetary or currency value. Last time we talked about this in depth, it was in the first podcast, which I believe it was over 2 years ago now. Is it over 2 years ago? Time really does fly. But is cryptocurrency a viable currency or monetary option? And what I did in that first podcast, which is still very much on the James Poetry YouTube channel, so you can listen to that video. I encourage you to go there. It's the James Poetry YouTube channel. Or you can do a search for it on the jamespoetry.online website. Now, with that knowledge, like I said, this is like a part two because it's something that I needed to add. I spoke very positive as far as when there is a need, yes, you can actually, a need or even a want, you can actually get currency for that need or want. And we established that. Now, here is the concern, and it's a big concern that should not be, just blown off. I'm telling you, I feel very strongly about this because it's one of those statements, and I'm saying this kind of with a chuckle, but I'm dead serious about it, is that, boy, if the impossible can happen, it'll happen with me, And here's the point. People were talking about for years how cryptocurrency they made it sound almost like it was unbreakable, because of the blockchain, the verification methods as well I use the term trust, but verify. Well, if you wanted to trust and verify timestamps, etc., because of it being set up on a peer-to-peer network in some cases where, these transactions are not just in one type of system controlled by one type of bank. In other words, it's like if you have a computer, especially if you have the mining type operations going on, which so many computers have, you realize when these transactions are going from here, and there, your transaction can literally be recorded upon not hundreds, not thousands, but even way more than that, depending on, how the blockchain grows. And as I mentioned, even out into space. And I kind of put it this way. I was listening, and I'm not going to mention the person's name, but I was listening to one person's interview. And when he was talking about some of the capabilities of what they were already doing in space, and I said, yep, I bet he already has the blockchain set up out there as well. So here it is. I was talking about this a couple of years ago as far as the capabilities. And here is a person that I feel strongly that he's already implemented in ways that I was talking about. I'm not saying he got the idea from me. I'm just telling you that I just know he probably did it. Now, with that being said, this is still the concern because I looked at it as being a secure method of transactions as well. Now, here is what I've still been observing though. I use this lighthearted illustration about, there was a time, all the way even down to this day, where if somebody, needed $1, if somebody, wanted a soda and you just had some change in your pocket, they just know that they could get $1 from you, a dime or what have you, to enjoy some refreshment in this way or that way. You could even give, panhandlers, if you will. But if you were feeling just good and generous on that day, if you wanted to give somebody who was on the street some money, you could, out the generosity of your heart. People still do that today, you see, anyway. Now, what what happens with the cryptocurrency though is, they've created credit cards in that way. Or what have you to do transactions, etc. But it's something about now with the cryptocurrency is this: you don't really look at it as just giving it away. You really don't. I mean, I don't even look at it in that way. As far as, if I want a transaction, it's probably because I really want to buy something. Or I'm buying something from you. Or maybe I'll receive payment or in that way or what have you. But when it just comes to charity and with the ease of being able to give a gift to somebody else on the spur of the moment or what have you, it just doesn't seem to lend itself even that generosity feeling to it at this time. That's one of the things that I want you to take note of. It's not like you can easily just give, a token here or a coin there to even somebody just on the street if they are not already equipped electronically, with their phones. It's just too much work to even give a dime, to even give a quarter. You see what I'm saying? To even give $1 to somebody on the street, And this doesn't have to be just a panhandler. It could just be anybody. So that takes that kind of generosity feeling out of it. But that's not the only thing that I want you to take note of that I picked up on. Because remember I said, if the impossible can happen, boy, it certainly did happen with me. Here it is. I always looked at it as it being secure. I've actually bought a domain that's on the blockchain website. And it was always a feeling of comfort when I first bought it, of being able to, hey, I can still post my articles on this and you know what I mean? And once it's on there, and people will always be able to access it, even in the way that, when I've talked about censorship on the regular domain naming system or DNS servers on the internet, which, remember when we talk about censorship, I told you, people's website are blocked and shadow banned and everything. You see what I'm saying? Even in different countries. However, the secure feeling, that I have received from the blockchain is that no, there's no shadow banning or anything that could happen to your website that may be even on there. Verification of purchases, etc. You see what I'm talking about? Well, guess what, Perceptive readers? I come to find out that yes, there's still even a way, even with the blockchain, that you could, be shadow banned to a point. You see, shadow banned, something of that nature. You can even have, if your websites are running through the blockchain somehow, with the servers and the routers, etc., even that somehow can be, restricted. And the reason why people at first were encouraged to be able to go to cryptocurrency is because you felt secure with your money and your transactions being recorded. And as they would say, nobody can just take it from you like they can with the banks or what have you. And that's the concern that I bring up to you, because I know that yes, even on the blockchain, you can have your stuff restricted and shadow banned. And that's what really gave me great concern moving forward in the future, because as you know, eventually a lot of persons really just want to go to total digital money. But if they can still do this to you digitally, digitally with your money, you see what I'm saying? Just by throwing a switch, and you can have all this, cryptocurrency stored here and there, but then they just throw one switch the same way that they can just do with the banks today. Then, it doesn't seem to be for me, an incentive to still really use it in that way. I'm almost like, you know what? I'll just still stick with the monster that I know. I'm making it as a joke. But at the same time, until, there's redundancy methods, protection methods, secure methods that will leave me feeling secure, that, somebody can't just make a charge and throw a switch, and then next thing there's no money at all that I can use, and it hinders even my ability to give to whether this charity or to this person just on the street. I just don't care too much for that. That's the reason why I still appreciate 100% paper and coin money, or as they would call paper, reserve notes. And that's something just to consider. So that's all I'm going to talk to you today about, because, the same way I brought out those concerns about 5G years ago, which, again, it was just something they just wanted to do. And even though I brought up some serious safety concerns, but, I at least put this stuff out here there for you to still know, So anyway, here is cryptocurrency, viable for money and things of that nature. Well, even though it is, the access, the ease of use, the generosity, the secure mindset of being able to get it when you need it is, I'm telling you what, it's still not like having a wallet or with, a few $100s in your pocket if you got it. You see what I'm talking about? Okay. Have a real wonderful day, Perceptive readers. Take good care of yourself.